The following Rosy Rambles comes with a trigger warning. This video contains alleged opinions, alleged experiences, alleged answers to your very real questions. Viewer discretion is advised. Allegedly. Some of these topics may include drama, delusion, unqualified advice, chaotic storytelling, oversharing, and me exposing myself on the internet. Allegedly. I am not a therapist, doctor, lawyer, or FBI agent. I am just a person with good vibes, Wi-Fi, a microphone, and a fairly decent voice. So grab your snacks, secure your wigs, and let's dive into this shit. Welcome to Rosy Rambles, y'all. Hi guys, it's Rosy here, and it's too loud. It's just far too loud for me to do an audio, so I am gonna do another ramble with Rosy. The last few of these, oh my gosh, I can't speak. 1 second. I have like a retainer I sleep in, and it's been tearing my speech up. I feel like you can hear every S and every word I say, and it's so annoying. I should probably get up and get some tea, but fuck it, we just gonna dry throat it today. And I need a vocal warm up, so we're gonna go through Reddit again. However, last time I went through Reddit, I went through the advice box. I think this time I'm gonna go back to the traditional am I the asshole? I think that'll be worth it. Last time I did the suggestion box, I kind of skip over a few because I feel like they're a little too heavy. But trigger warning to everybody, I don't know what I'm getting into, so if you're, nervous, I'll try to keep tabs on this, but can't guarantee. But I think I'm going to try to choose everyone that says like girlfriend or wife, because we keep it gay over here. And I know most of these are going to be made by terrible husbands, but we're still for the girls. So, or I can just take some that are like, I don't know, by the girls. Who knows? Let's see, what's the first one we can find here? What's the first one we can find here? Oh, here we go. This one has wife in it. Am I the asshole for being rude when my wife had a Zoom meeting in my office? This already sounds like an asshole. So let's get into it. I had a medical procedure this morning/afternoon and didn't arrive home until 3 p.m. While I was gone, we had some cleaners come in our home, so my wife relocated from her office to my office, where the dogs were being kept. This keeps them quiet. The cleaners left at 1 p.m., so the whole house was available for my wife to have her meetings. Oh, God. Sorry, you guys. I just woke up. Oh, my gosh. Where was I at? Oh, for her meetings. Let me add that my wife has a local office, but wanted to work from home today. The medical procedure makes me very sick. Sorry, you guys, the AC is kicking on. And I needed my medication, which was in my office. When I got home, my wife was still in my office, even though the cleaners were long gone. She refused to even look at me, and I could have just walked in, but I think she would have gotten angry. I took 15 minutes to do a few quick chores for my wife, came back, and she was still in there. So I stood outside my office and waited, and I was there long enough that I decided to just wait in the bedroom. When I came out, my wife was very angry and sincerely called me the asshole. I explained that the cleaners had gone for hours and my wife had the rest of the house to have this meeting. She called me an asshole again, like this is my fault, and I couldn't get into my office to get my medications. But I am the bad guy. I feel like my wife has terrible work from home etiquette, and because of that makes her abrasive to these types of situations. There's nothing wrong with asking the person you're meeting with for a minute to move, or honestly, just a minute. for me to sneak in and grab medication bag. Do you agree with me or my wife? Am I the asshole? Okay. I just so clear that some of y'all just be having miscommunications just to have it. Honestly, your wife could just put you on mute. Put whoever they're on Zoom on mute for like a few seconds so you can grab whatever the fuck you need to grab and get out. But you know what, that is considered, at least in Southern traditions, still kind of rude. It's almost like you're not paying attention to the person, and whenever you stop and pause. And I kind of hate that narrative because things happen. Who cares? But like, shit, I guess. Honestly, I think you're an asshole for, I think it's something else in here that makes you an asshole. Because I feel like you wrote this whole thing being mad that she was in your office, basically. That's the part that I think makes you an asshole. I think you feel, I mean, of course you should be entitled to your space, but it's your wife. Y'all are married. Y'all own this space together. You guys should be able to, shit, you could be in her office if you feel like it. Y'all own the space together. So I don't think it should be that big of a deal. But I don't understand why your wife is angry. You must have been doing something stupid, and you probably just didn't put it in this letter because, you know, you don't want to feel judged by it. If you did something stupid or said something mean or made a mean face or something to your wife while she was in the middle of a meeting, or like knocking on the freaking door, yeah, I would be mad too. That's what I'm assuming happened here. But you know what? That's not what they put in this letter. It looks like they added an edit. Thanks for everybody's response. We had a good conversation. She was in my office because she had an eye appointment this morning and her eyes were dilated. Her office faces the sun, so she moved into my office since she could see better. I asked her if she could tell me those things before she calls me an asshole. I showed her the Reddit post and she said I agree with the most of you. Thanks for talking. Yeah, let your wife, I mean, who cares if that's the reason why? She's your wife. If she wants to take your office and you're not in there, you guys share the home. Like, I understand boundaries, you know, you guys set that boundary, but like for me, if I had, okay, I'm a hopeless romantic. I want to be married. I want to have a nice little cute family and a nice cute little wife. If my wife decides she wants to wake up and use my office that day, then that office is my wife's office that day. I don't know. For me, I don't feel like there's a need to argue about that. Unless there's something, a dire need of that space. Like, my space has been so kept up by me and my stuff is everywhere. And I'm like, you can't use my office today because it's everywhere. Like, I need all of this stuff to stay where it's at. Then we can communicate about that. But if it's a normal day, I had a medical procedure and I'm not feeling well, and you know, you aren't feeling well either. Like, y'all both had medical things happen to you, like medical procedures that same day. What happened was, to me, based off of reading this, it sounded like both of y'all were in different states, you know, and you were being a big ass baby and she was being a minimum ass baby. Her eyes are dilated. She needed to be in a different space, and you were being an even bigger baby. I don't know. That's just me. But if my wife's eyes were dilated and I don't know, I came from home from a medical procedure where I can get up and still walk around and shit, I would literally, you know, go lay down on the fucking couch and take a fucking nap until my wife is done. And then when my wife is done, I say, hey babe, can you give my meds? Or send her a text. Give me my meds. Let me take a nap. And chill out for the rest of the day. There's no need to argue about that. I don't get it. Why do people argue about nothing? And communicate. She could have told you, like, look, I need your office. I can't see. Like, and then what are you going to say after that? That's what makes you an asshole. Well, fuck you. You can't see. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I feel like I overread this. These aren't my favorite. Am I the assholes make me more mad? Because I be feeling like, yes, you are. Most of the time, these people are the assholes. Okay. Another wife one. Sick wife has high needs. Am I the asshole? Oh, this one's longer. I don't like all this reading. It be stressing me out, y'all. Last night around 11:30 p.m., after I had already been asleep for about 2 hours with our two old daughters. I work in the morning, she doesn't. My wife called me repeatedly on my cell until I picked up. She said it was an emergency and she needed me to come downstairs. Okay, it's an emergency. Your wife's calling. Get your ass the fuck up. Go downstairs. When I got down there, she was lying in bed and said she felt really bad, like she was going to throw up, and that she couldn't fall asleep. And I asked what the emergency was, and she said, I told you. I was like, babe, feeling like you're going to throw up is not, being able to fall asleep is not emergencies. Do you not need to go to urgent care? She said she didn't know, and that she feel like she had a fever, so maybe. And I went and got very expensive, accurate thermometer. I got us, and it said 98 degrees Fahrenheit. And so I was like, so I said, okay, you don't have a fever. And she then proceeded to argue with me about how that actually is a fever, and her sense normal temp is 97 point. Okay, that's stupid as fuck, you guys. I told her she should take some Tylenol, and she explained that she didn't think she should because she might throw it up. And I suggested she could take a muscle relaxer to help relax her body to fall asleep. And she said she was worried she'd throw it up or that it would make her feel bad the next day. At this point, I was like, okay, babe, those are my ideas. What would you like for me to do? And she launched into a tirade about how partners are supposed to support one another. One second. My brain needs to stop, you guys. And I know I'm not the best reader. I'm sorry for you guys who's trying to keep up with this story. But I'm trying to go back to the first paragraph. Last night around 11:30, after I had already been asleep for 2 hours with our two daughters. I work in the morning, she doesn't. My wife called me repeatedly on cell until I picked up. She said it was an emergency and needed me to come downstairs. She was lying in bed. 11:30 p.m. Okay, that's at night. Okay, so he's awake before, like, okay. Because I'm trying to figure out why y'all not in the bed together. Okay, so he's staying up late and she's already in the bed. Okay. This one is so annoying to read. Oh my God. Where was I at? At this point, I was like, okay, babe, these are my ideas. What would you like me to do? And she launched into a tirade on how her partners are supposed to support one another. And she just needs my emotional support because she feels like she's never going to be able to fall asleep. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair thing to say from her. I tried reassuring her that she would eventually, and she argued me she might not. And if she had ever not fallen asleep at some point, she would have wanted to go to sleep. What was that sentence? It's okay. Like, not when trying to stay up at night. And she said no. So I said, okay, well, then it seems highly unlikely that you're not going to ever fall asleep. And if that's never happened, so why don't you just lie here and read or watch videos until you feel sleepy? And I just know that it'll happen eventually. It's going to be okay. You're not in danger, and this is not some kind of sickness that requires medical attention or that you need to be scared of. She really didn't like that, and after a little bit more back and forth, I told her I was going back to bed. And please only call me. Okay, I wasn't tripping, y'all. I knew I wasn't tripping. I was going back to bed, and please only call me if it's a real emergency because I have work in the morning and get our kid ready and off to school. And she said, you suck. I'm not tripping. I said, okay, he's upstairs, she's downstairs, she in the bed, y'all, not on the couch, not like she in the bed, you know what I mean? And he now, okay, so y'all sleeping in 2 separate rooms, bitch. It's way more going on. See, y'all, see, Yeah, you do suck. What's going on? This morning at 7, she is sleeping soundly, and I'm letting her sleep in while I mean, y'all don't even sleep together, it don't sound like. So, of course she's sleeping soundly, bitch. She's not sleeping next to you. While I get our daughter ready for school and take her there on my way to work. And I'm a dick for not being endlessly available to my wife, yes. In the middle of the night for emotional support because she doesn't feel well, yes. And I see I see now that I had more sense about me. I was basically halfway asleep for our conversation. Would that just be like, it's going to be okay in this situation? But I have done differently. What could I have done differently that would have been less shitty if you guys think it was shitty what I've done? And you know what? I want to read some of these comments. But I have my own personal opinion. Obviously, you guys are in need of like marriage counseling immediately. You already said y'all are sleeping separately. And there's nothing wrong with sleeping separately, you guys. There's nothing wrong with that. I would be married to someone and we can have 2 separate houses as far as I give a fuck. Personal space, privacy, room to explore, be an individual is very important in this life. We only got one life. We die quickly. 100 years is not that long. Which is like the basic lifespan of a person, I think, is 100 years, right? I don't think I've seen a lot of people. I think Betty White died right when she was turning 100. R.I.P. Betty White, because, yeah. But what made this, for me, concerning is you're married. You guys are not co-sleeping. You guys are sleeping separately. Which is fine, like I said. But your wife called you multiple times. You're thinking it's an emergency, right? Okay. And then she pretends or says she's not feeling well. Okay. She says, I feel really bad. And then she goes in and says she would like emotional support. When you were like, well, you're not sick, bitch. That's basically what he said. He said, bitch, this shit say 98.8 and you are 97.7 at a normal temp. Bitch, you're up 1 temperature. All you need to do is turn the fucking fan on. And she said, well, damn, bitch. Give me a hug or something, motherfucker. Goddamn. And then you know what this man did? He said, bitch, take this fucking Tylenol and go back to fucking bed. He's like, you acting like you ain't never slept in your whole goddamn life. If you tired enough, bitch, you'll sleep. My roommates are so loud. 1 second, y'all. And then he go on and basically, I would consider this to be mommy shaming, low key. But you know what? If we don't want to consider that, we don't have to. But then he said in the last paragraph, this morning at 7. Sorry, the AC cutting on again. She is sleeping soundly and I'm letting her sleep in while I get our daughter ready for school and take her there on my way to work. Bitch, ain't that what? If you can get up early enough, I work in the morning, she doesn't. It's literally how he starts the first paragraph. Like, okay, you should be getting your ass the fuck up and taking your daughter to school. Why? She doesn't work early. Let her sleep in. The fuck? Who gives a fuck? But I think it's the lack of concern for real. Like, you're like, oh, your temperature is normal. Do you think you need to go to the ER? Obviously not at this point. And if she needed to, you kind of just didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because you were like, sort of like, oh, I guess I should, be aware. And I guess I should ask her symptoms. That's what this vibe is given from this fucking... That's what this vibe is given from this letter. I think you guys need to go see a therapist, because obviously she's just asking for some emotional support, some comfort, maybe a little cuddles. Just a little bit of cuddles. You upstairs sleeping with your daughter when y'all could have been in the bed together. That's all she was asking for. Just a little attention. And you're like being an asshole and not giving her the attention that she needs. Just like your daughter, who's 2-year-old, your 2-year-old daughter who needs the attention. You also have to think that your wife, who you made the fucking 2-year-old daughter with, also wants and needs attention as well. Comfort as well. Just as much as your big baby ass will probably want attention as well. That's so annoying. And I understand, like, you when you have kids, it's hard to try to like rebalance your life and stuff. Kids take up a lot of energy, they take up a lot of space sometimes. But I mean, like, come on, y'all are in an emotional relationship. Please be emotional. I don't know, that's just me. I know sometimes when you have work hours and you guys have things that y'all normally do, that kind of falling out of that routine can be annoying, but this is obviously like a little cry for help. And it's divorce worthy to me. I don't know, just me. I feel like those little tiny moments that you guys have, like, okay, maybe he wasn't able to like sleep well, or you woke him up out his sleep like it was an emergency and it was a big thing. Y'all could communicate about, hey, don't do this again. But if you need comfort, maybe, come up and sleep with us, or ask for it politely. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Some of these comments are like the bare opposite of what I would say. Somebody said, don't destroy somebody's sleep. Like, she's the bad guy here. And I get it. Like, when I be knocked the fuck out, I would be mad as hell too if somebody just called me in a bunch of times. But I think that's not the issue that they have. That's not the root of the issue. I think that's just the consequence of what happened from you guys needing to go see a fucking couples therapist. Okay, let me find another one. Oh, this one is scary. Oh, should I do this one? This one says girlfriend. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to grow up and start acting like an adult? Oh, here we go. I moved in with my girlfriend of 2 years, and we've been living together for about a year now. The first year was good, but it was very honeymoon phase of seeing each other a couple times a week for date nights and things like that. Why do we not punctuate these sentences, y'all? Y'all stress me out. Fast forward to year 2 and living together and losing my mind and utter laziness and uselessness for my girlfriend. Okay, so y'all are out of the honeymoon phase and y'all hate each other. Okay, natural. My girlfriend practically brags about never having more than 1/4 tank of gas, which at first I thought it was whatever. In year 1, I've had to bring a gas can to her 4 times because she ran out of gas. She recently ran out of oil in her car, which pretty much ruined her car after I told her for almost 3 weeks she needs an oil change. She consistently snoozes her alarm and gets reprimed at work. I don't know what that means. Oh, reprimanded. Bitch, I can't read. She constantly snoozes her alarm and gets reprimanded at work. One time I was out of town on work and she calls me and tells me that I need to call the cat sitter that I had to find out for her cat because she was going to on an impromptu cruise with her friend. She would complain that we don't have plans and expects me to cooperate everything about our life, whether it's travel, food, cleaning, bills, plans with friends, holidays, it doesn't matter. If I don't do laundry, it will sit there for weeks, and if I don't do dishes, it'll sit there for weeks. I could list 1,000 other things, but after the oil change situation, I fully lost my top. Not only does she do all these things, she says stuff like, this only happens to me, and sulks and how hard her life is, and how all these very regular parts of being an adult are so overwhelming, which is why she needs me to do it. And I finally, I finally blew my top after trying to be gentle with her for months, and I told her to grow the fuck up and get used to it. Stop putting herself in overwhelming situations and take some fucking responsibility for the consequences of her actions. We've been fighting ever since, and I don't have the patience anymore, so I'm becoming more and more condescending sometimes on purpose. Sometimes. Okay, I need to know. Okay. Okay, so what you're describing it as if she has a couple bad habits that needs to be, talked about. And bad habits, that happens in life, in every relationship. It's always somebody who leaves the fucking towel on the bathroom floor, and it's always somebody who always has to pick it up, and it never gets picked up until you guys talk about it, or until that one person who was always picking it up, explodes like a ticking time bomb about the damn towel on the bathroom floor. But I don't think this is laziness and uselessness like she was explaining. It sounds like your girlfriend has I don't know. It sounds like some mental health issues, ma'am. This sounds like what a manic episode sounds like. I know because I experience them like at least once a month when I'm on my period at the very minimum. And in the winter times, if I don't take enough vitamin D, I'm a Florida girl. I'm used to the sunlight. So when I moved to like the north one time, just for a few months, I had to move back home because I could not take the lack of sunlight. It depressed me so bad. And having those little manic episodes from either trauma or just weather change like that, it'll cause you to have these terrible habits where you don't care for yourself, or anything else. And that's what this sounds like to me. Like, unless she was able to, do these things, randomly one day, and then one day she stops. But it sounds like your girlfriend got a little bit more than, a laziness issue. It sounds like she needs to go see a psychologist and maybe take some drugs, girl. Yeah, especially with every part before this was understandable. The whole situation with the car and the gas and the dishes. But when you said this bitch took an impromptu cruise, I said, "Oh, she's manic as fuck." Nobody does that. Maybe, buys stupid shit, but an impromptu cruise means she's in her brain cells, she's going insane. In my opinion. I don't know. I don't think you're an asshole. I don't think you should have yelled at her. I don't know how that conversation went because I wasn't there. But I think, yeah, your girlfriend, y'all need to pause on y'all. Press play on her getting some help because you're going to stress yourself so bad, which you've already had. And the whole time it's not even a relationship issue between the two of y'all. And it's becoming one. Tell her to go get some help. Seek some help. Okay, I'm gonna do one more because my roommates are so loud and y'all are gonna hear the full conversation in the back and it's so annoying. Let's see, what else should we do? Okay, I'm gonna do this one. It's short. Am I the asshole for yelling at my sister-in-law for embarrassing my wife? Oh, absolutely not. That's all I heard was my wife and yelling at somebody else. Yeah, turn up. Why not? I, 28 male, yelled at my sister-in-law, 31 female, bless you, whoever she's in the back of my house. So fucking loud. 27 female. My wife is 6 months postpartum. Oh, here we go. And they put PP, so I'm just assuming. And was helping her sister get ready for a family get together. My wife was moving things around and picked up a bag of dog food and peed herself because of it. Whoa. Reread. My wife was moving things around and picked up a bag of dog food and peed herself because of it. Okay, she's postpartum, so it's understandable. My sister-in-law, who doesn't have kids, by the way, found it hilarious and decided to tell everyone about it. My wife was embarrassed about it and confronted my sister-in-law, saying she had no idea what my wife had been through, and if she knew, she wouldn't be making fun of her. By the way, this isn't the first time she tried to embarrass my wife. Okay, they're sisters, so it's understandable as to why they do that, because sisters, they gonna try to embarrass you and annoy you anyway. But I think, yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. I feel like, yeah, I would low-key cuss my sister-in-law out too, like, hey man, that's not very nice. She's going through a hard time. You're supposed to be here to support her. Postpartum is hard. It's really, really hard. I don't know anything about it because I don't have no babies. But, I'm assuming it's similar to having depression, mood swings, and everything else all of above while, trying to care for a damn baby and keep your marriage alive if you're still married. Because some of these hoes ain't even married when they have that. So they have to worry about that and money. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say you're the asshole. I would say I would cuss my sister-in-law out politely, as long as my wife allows. I would literally be like, bitch, that's why you bald-headed, hoe. and I would let my wife give me some good tea so I can have ammunition. I'm just kidding, y'all. I probably wouldn't do this in real life, but it would be fun. But no, I don't think you're an asshole for that. No. I think always putting up for your wife, your significant other, as long as they say it's okay, then go in. Why not turn the fuck up? Okay. This one's been 30 minutes long. I would root for an hour, but obviously, guys, I obviously need to go back to bed or get the fuck up. And my roommates are so loud. They have people over. And so when parents are here, they like to do whatever the fuck they like to do. But I would like to say thank you guys for listening and hanging out with me once again for another Rosy Rambles. And whether you are waking up in the morning like me, going to bed at night, going to the store, shopping at the mall, driving in your car, or just listening in, I love you. And I hope you have a good day. And go listen to another video. I have to work on this outro because I honestly don't know what it's supposed to be. But I feel like saying that every single time. Go watch another audio. Go listen to another one. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.